In esports, there's always a favorite and an underdog. Even though we love to see our favorite team win and want them to always finish in first place, there's actually something better than that. A really good underdog story. Who wants the favorite to win all the time, apart from the hardcore fans, of course? It's the same in esports. After all, it gets boring at some point if only the top teams always win. Underdogs show us that it is possible to beat the invincible favorites and provide the best surprises. Today we present you our top 10 underdogs in esports. Top 10. The ninjas in pajamas know all too well how to keep their CS fans on the edge of their seats. They weren't as strong in 2016 as the years before, and had to play against SK Gaming, who were one of the top teams back then. How times can change. SK Gaming managed to secure the first map with a clear lead, but the second map looked much better for NIP. The score was 12-5 for them, but suddenly SK turned it up again and fought back round by round, so it became damn close. And suddenly it was 15-14 for NIP. But with a saving kill the round, and the map went to the ninjas. On the third map, it was again a neck-and-neck race, but miraculously they were able to win again with 16-14. And with such an esport thriller, they should be granted the victory.
What a story. Peds return after a 3-month absence, and they come back once again and win their third tournament of the year. You can see what it means to them. Very emotional scenes there.
Top 9. When League of Legends was still in its early days, the strengths of the teams weren't as clear as they are today, when everyone knows that the Korean and Chinese leagues are the strongest. After Fnatic won the very first Worlds, the next year, it was going to be the underdogs from Taiwan, Taipei Assassins. Because of the format, they skipped the group stage then, and went straight up against favorites Najin's Sword in the quarterfinals, who were the unbeaten team in Group A. They eventually defeated their rivals and entered the semi-finals, where they had to play the European team, Moscow 5. But they defeated them too, and then faced another top team in the final, Azubu Frost. After losing the first match, they thought their luck had run out, but then they just won the next 2 matches and the Worlds as well, making sure that the jaws of the spectators dropped.
Leading to a Baron. Not playing like the underdog any longer, the Taipei Assassins push their way to the Nexus, defeating Azubu Frost to become the Season 2 World Champions.
Top 8. Continuing with a big surprise, the underdog Gambit Esports took care of it in the final at IEM Katowice 2021. Gambit had won a few S-tier tournaments before, but weren't really considered favorites, and they played Virtus Pro. The tournament didn't get off to a great start for Gambit, as they didn't stand a chance in their opening game against Evil Geniuses, and slipped into the lower bracket. That's where their Cinderella story really took off, though. They managed to beat top team Navi with their star player Simple, and also managed to beat teams like G2 and Heroic in their lower bracket run. Funnily enough, Virtus Pro also made it to the finals through the lower bracket, but they couldn't get past Gambit this time. After 4 years, they could finally hold a trophy in their hands again.
Just has to not defuse. 3 seconds, 2, it's done. Gambit, baby, they've done it. IEM Katowice. No small fish in a big pond anymore.
Top 7. At IEM Katowice 2019, Finnish team ENS finally shined as they made it to the grand final for the first time in their CSGO career. Led by Alexib, they were able to defeat Team Liquid in the quarterfinals. This win presented them with their next challenge in the semifinals, where they had to play Navi. But they also managed to beat the Ukrainian top team and then suddenly faced Astralis in the final. At that time, Astralis was one of the best CSGO teams. Unfortunately, the underdog had no chance to beat Astralis, and after that, they became known as Easy 4 Ins.
Chance, what the hell just happened there?
Unreal!
Well, enough of the past. Let's talk about the future, obviously.
Is for ends.
Top 6. We're really sorry that we always have to pick on NA, but unfortunately the region has always been known as the weakest when it comes to League. That's why we just have to talk about it when they made it to the semi-finals of an international tournament for the first time. Team Liquid was able to prove to us in 2019 that NA can fight too, when they were able to beat even G2 in the group stage. In the semi-finals, they won 3-1 against IG, while G2 even managed to defeat SKT in the other semi-final. In the grand final, Liquid was no match for G2, but they were still the first team from NA to make it this far in an international event. For that, they deserve our respect. Top 5. Among our favorite underdog stories, Team Liquid's unforgettable run at ESL Cologne 2016 is not to be missed. Back then, a piece of history was once again written in Counter-Strike, because for the very first time ever, a team from NA made it to the grand final of a major. At the beginning of the tournament, many wouldn't have even thought it possible for Liquid to reach the playoffs, but a good underdog saga starts the same way. When Liquid even managed to beat Navi in the quarterfinals, everyone who still doubted the team was proven wrong. To be fair, Simple was in Liquid's lineup at that point, and back in the semifinals against Fnatic, it was also the match where he was graffitied for his 1v2 AWP no-scope clutch in freefall. They then unfortunately lost to SK in the final, but no one would have thought they would even get that far.
Takes down a kill, so now Elise, the last man left, and he drops 16-7 and SK.
Top 4. All League fans will remember the heartbreaking moment when Deft won with his team DRX at Worlds last year. It's a crazy story, as DRX came into the tournament's play-ins as the 4th Korean seed. From there, they fought their way to the top and faced T1 in the finals. Of course, Faker also played for T1 last year, and he and Deft have a funny history together, as the two pro players went to the same school, and Deft was always in Faker's shadow. The famous mid laner has won the Worlds 3 times. But Deft has only ever been able to dream of holding the highest trophy in the game in his hands. Last year, in one of the closest matches, he finally did it, and on his birthday too.
They have been doubted, they have been discounted, they have been dismissed, but DRX are your
Top 3. The Evil Geniuses have been the biggest surprise of the VCT Americas region. Their meteoric rise in the second half of the Valorant season, followed by a miraculous run in the bracket stage, earned them a spot at Masters Tokyo. The team was led by duelist Demon 1, who performed exceptionally well. The team looks cohesive and proved that they have the skills and great plays to secure rounds. The Evil Geniuses have proven their talent at the regional level and are now looking to show that they are the ultimate underdog and a real threat at Masters Tokyo. Despite only being able to compete as the 3rd seed at VCT Masters Tokyo, they have shown that they should not be underestimated.
To finish it, Evil Geniuses are just not losing maps.
Top 2. The 2018 Boston E-League Major is one of the best majors of all time, and for good reason. The American team Cloud9 stunned everyone at the time. No one could believe it, but Cloud9 followed in Liquid's footsteps and made it to the finals of the E-League Major. This major finally earned the region some respect, as NA is unfortunately one of the weaker regions in Counter-Strike as well. They had lost the first matches of the tournament and barely made it to the playoffs. This red thread continued all the way to the finals. They had to play against the clear tournament favorite FaZe Clan. In this crazy final, Cloud9 just refused to give up. Despite being extremely behind, they pulled off one of the gnarliest comebacks in CS history and eventually won the first major title for the region. Top 1. Dota fans will definitely remember the moment at the biggest Dota tournament, International 2018, when OG won against PSG LGD. At that time, their new silent mid laner Topson joined the team's lineup freshly, just 3 months before the TI, and nobody knew him before. Topson had no LAN experience and was just a small-time streamer at the time, playing Dota from his bedroom. Thanks to that single tournament, the most unassuming player made it to the top and was even able to shake hands with the president of Finland. He came into the team as an underdog, but was able to develop and really blossomed. You know the story. The very next year he won the TI again with OG and inscribed himself in the history of Dota.
They have done it. Have done it. The power of flowers and friendship.
That was our top 10 video of the week. Who's your favorite underdog? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you next week.